Come with me to launch my virtual assistance business again for the second time. Yes, I am getting back into the virtual assistance world and I am taking y'all with me. For anyone who may be wondering, girl, I didn't even know you was a virtual assistant. Tell me, give me the tea on that. So in 2015, after finding out I was pregnant with twins, I decided to become a mobile assistant. And I got into that. I got that idea because I had done some work for my mom who was doing MLM at the time, multi-level marketing. That's like your Mary Kay's and like that kind of stuff. She had a full team of people that she was working with. She was doing really well in her MLM company, and she needed some help getting more team members and like engaging the team that she had. So she asked me to like do a PowerPoint. She asked me to like create a spreadsheet, that showed like the numbers of the team and stuff like that. And so I did all of that. And I was like, this is cool because I was at home on my computer just chilling. The reason that the mobile came into play was because at the time I owned a mobile spa. So I was an esthetician. I had my cousin who was a masseuse who worked with me. And then we had a nail tech who worked with us. And we would go off and do spa parties for people. And so we would be lugging around massage beds and that kind of stuff. And so that kind of got the wheels turning on the whole mobile thing. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do the heavy lifting of the equipment for the spa. And so that was kind of going to be put by the wayside. But I was like, I can't sit at home and be on the computer, pregnant with twins and having little bitty baby twins and things like that. So I put the wheels in motion. And what I found out after I started doing my research and stuff like that was that it was actually a virtual assistant that I wanted to be. And I did not even have to leave my house to be able to do it. Shoot, forget the mobile part of it. I didn't even have to leave my house to do it. And so after the twins were born, well, probably a little bit before the twins were being born in 2016, I launched Chic Assist Virtual Assisting. So a lot of people ask me like, where did Sava come from, or what does that mean? And that's what it means: Chic Assist Virtual Assisting. And so started my business right away. I knew a lot of people from being in business for myself for before. I had been in business at the time, probably close to 10 years at that time, where I had, did MLM myself. I had the mobile spa, things like that. And I was good at networking. I like networking. I like meeting people and introducing my business to people and stuff like that. So I knew a lot of people in the business world from networking from other businesses that I had owned. So when I reached out to them to let them know, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I'm an assistant. Let me take all that paperwork off of your plate and all that good stuff that we say in the virtual assistance world. Everybody was like, yes, 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 yes. I need some help. Thank you, Jesus. And within the first month, I got my first client, and my first client was a four-figure deal, which is looking back on it, that was a lot back then, for me just starting out, and I was still working in corporate America. I worked part-time, but I was still working in corporate America. I remember being on my cell phone at work in the comment area that we had at the time, and literally blown away when the woman was like, "Yes, I need your help." And I had, like, packages of, how many hours you could buy. And she bought like the biggest package, and then if you did it for 3 months, you got like something off. Like, I don't play no games. When I'm getting ready to do something, I'm diving deep. I'm getting deep into it. I knew a lot from research and how I should set things up and all of that. And so if you bought it for 3 months, you got something off. And so she did the whole 3-month deal, and I was just like, baby, I was about to quit my job at that point. I was like, oh, this is it right here. So I started working with her. Me and Kelly worked together for 3 years. She was my first client, the first one I ever brought on. But she wasn't the only one who said yes. A lot of people said yes. And so probably within the first 6 to 8 months or so, I had a full-blown agency. And what that means is I couldn't do all the work. I only got 2 hands. It's only so many hours in a day. And so I had to bring more people on to help me with the work, and that's how it became an agency because I had other virtual assistants that did like administrative work, but then I had other people who had different types of expertise, like graphic designers and people like that. So whatever people needed done when it came to running their businesses, we could help them. And so that was within the first year. It was a lot of fun. Man, it was a lot of sleepless nights, but it was really exciting. It was an exciting time for me. And so I did that for a while, but soon began to get burned out. And what that means is I was tired. I was burning the candle at both ends. I had a husband, I had kids. I was trying to run this business. I was still working in corporate America. Granted, I only worked part-time, but I still had a job. I had to get up and go to work every day. So it had begun to be a lot for me. And on top of that, I did not feel like I was helping my clients because a lot of them were first time entrepreneurs. These were people who were just starting businesses for the first time, didn't have a lot of background, had never hired anybody to work for them or anything like that. So we both looking at each other like, I'm like, I know how to assist people, but they didn't have any processes or systems or any kind of software or anything like that to help bring somebody into their company and let that be a seamless transition. So, I was doing things for people, but it wasn't really stuff that was helping them. It was kind of like little busy work for them to think that they was doing something and all of that. And y'all probably hear my kids this summer, so they're home. But so yeah, so that I didn't feel like I was like really helping them. And I don't think that they a lot of people paid me for a long time where I really didn't do a whole lot for their companies. And that didn't make me feel really good because I wasn't out to take people's money to do nothing. And so I started to try to find ways to streamline my business and make things easier on my end so that I wasn't doing as much paperwork and things like that with my business and bringing clients in. And so I started to dive heavily into system software and automation. And so I'll do a class on it another day, but basically I incorporated processes, SOPs, standard operating procedures, software, CRMs, customer relationship management systems. I started to incorporate those things into my business. And once I started doing that, I was like, oh, this is what these people need. They need this type of stuff to help them and to help me help them. And so I started working with some of my clients on setting up their back end, meaning I was setting up those same processes, standard operating procedures, CRMs, that kind of thing for their business. So the more I delve into it, because I'm going to do some research. I'm gonna research, I'm gonna figure out how this stuff really work. I want to master things, which is a gift and a curse for me. But I like to master stuff. When I'm doing something, I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to do it right. I want to be the expert that my clients come to in that area. And so started doing research about coach courses, hired coaches, that kind of thing to like really help me know what I was doing when it came to this. And what I found out was that you can make a lot of money doing just that, not even assisting. You don't have to, work for people for a certain amount of hours or anything like that. You can have this project that you're doing where you can set up these systems for them, charge them anywhere from 1,000 to $5,000, and that was it. You be done. If it take you 10 minutes to do the project, which you don't, you still get that same money. If it take you an hour, you still get that same money. Whatever the case may be, you just doing this project and then you're done. So then my wheels started turning. I was like, okay. I know what I'm doing now. I can do this. And so then that's what my business turned into, the systems and automation firm. So we did productivity, everything, and not as much administrative work. I still had clients that I was working with, but I wasn't taking on any new clients. And then those clients kind of, especially once I started helping them get their systems up, some of them didn't even need me as much as they did before. So some of them started to fall off, but some of them stayed on. So I had those clients, but then I started doing the project work. And that was great for a while. Like I did really well with that. It was good. My clients were happy. They were referring people to me. and stuff like that. And so I started doing project work and not so much virtual assisting. So that's how I got out of the virtual assistance business, right? It was a long story to get to there. So once I started doing that, that was good. But the issue comes in with that type of work is you are always hustling to get your next client, right? So I went from being somewhat burned out doing the administrative work to getting burned out by the hustle. Because you always got to be trying to, because once the project is done, it's done, you got your money. But then you're on to the next person. You know, if you have good financial um what am I trying to say? Education or know how you can manage that a little bit better probably than I could. I'm keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna be straight. That money was coming in. I was like, okay, balling, balling, balling. And so, you know, the money was coming in, it was spent on to the next person. So it was constantly a hustle of trying to get more clients. And I got burned out on that as well. So luckily, I had a great support system. My husband, and I kind of took a step back from all of it. If someone called me and wanted a project done or needed some help with something, I would gladly help them take their money, but I wasn't really advertising my business as much or working my business as much. I really kind of put myself out of business because I was tired. I was tired. Um, but once you're an entrepreneur, it's hard to get out of that. Like even not even just the money, but you know, just the um you grow a lot being an entrepreneur. There's a lot that goes into being an entrepreneur, and a lot of the growth that you experience internally and personally is far more valuable than the money that you get. And you miss it when you're not there anymore, when you're not doing that, you're not innovating and coming up with new ideas and, you know, that kind of thing. So, of course, I got bored with just kind of sitting at home. I started a book club and all that stuff. If you know, you know. Um, but then I was listening to a podcast. I'm always listening to a podcast. I'm always going to be learning, YouTubing, and all that good stuff. I was listening to a podcast, and the young lady was saying sometimes we have to take a step back in order to move forward. And she went into a little bit more detail about what that meant. And all I kept thinking was, it's time for you to start virtual assisting again. And I was thinking that, but then I was like, no, that ain't what she meant. I don't think that's what she was saying. But that was like really heavy. It was heavy for a long time, for like a month. I had been thinking that. And then all the while, for years, I would get emails, I would get inbox messages, I would get a lot of like, are you still virtual assisting? Or people would send me emails, hey, I got your name from this person. Are you still virtual assisting? And most of the time I would say, no, I'm not in the business anymore, you know, and I would refer them to somebody else. But after I listened to the podcast and they kept saying heavily, 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 I got an inbox message from a business friend of mine, and she was like, Shaquana, I need you. I need your help. I need an assistant. And that was like, that was like that was what did it. And it was just like, okay, okay, that was the sign that you needed. And so I turned my light back on. You know how you go to a business and it's like on, you know, open or closed, whatever. I turned my light back on at the end of last year in my head, not for the public. I hadn't started advertising it yet. And so in my head and I started getting everything back together and you know, I'm gonna come correct. And so that's where we are today. So we are actually, I have a client, it's somewhat of a large client that I'm working with right now. Um, and so that happened fairly quickly. So last year, maybe in November, is when I got the idea to start back up. The young lady who sent me the message and was like, I need your help, I need an assistant. We ended up not working together. And I'll talk about that in another video at another time. One thing that I have learned over the years is not everyone is your client. And you do yourself and you do that person in injustice when you just take on any and everybody that contributed to my burnout before and all of that good stuff. So That's my story. That's how I got into virtual assisting. That's how I got out of it. That's how I got back into it again. And so, what this series is going to do is just kind of bring you on the journey with rebuilding my business. Um, right now, at this moment, I am not trying to build a full blown agency. There is another driving force behind me starting my business again that I'm not ready to share just yet, because it's very personal. But um, I have a strategy, which is something that I did not have really when I first started before. I have a plan, I have a network of people. So I kind of have a leg up there, but I'm not taking on any client that comes my way. I'm not, trying to get as many clients as I possibly can, as fast as I possibly can. I'm very selective about the people that I'm going to work with this time around. So, hopefully, this will be good for someone. The reason why I'm doing this is one, to hold myself accountable. Okay, because when you start talking out loud and saying stuff out loud and other people know, it's like, okay, you got to get your butt in gear. And then to help other people who may be wanting to start up their virtual assistance business, don't know where to start, don't know what to do. So some of the things I'm going to talk about is, I know another video that I have in mind is just to talk about some of the things that I am struggling with mentally and emotionally in doing this again, because when you feel like you going back, you like, I am the productivity, I am the systems and automation specialist, I am the person, if you pay me $2,000, $3,000 and I'm going back to virtual assisting, which the way that I have things set up right now with my virtual assisting, it equates to about the same. So but it's a mental shift. There is some things that I'm dealing with as far as that concern. And then knowing more. I know a lot more than I did the first time that I started. So when you know more, it's like, okay, like I said, I'm not just taking anybody, I'm not just working with any and everybody, and that kind of thing. So but I'm excited. I'm excited. I've already been working with another company now for a couple of months, and that's been going extremely well. I've actually like started with the company here and went here and all of that good stuff. So but I'll bring you guys along with me, but I'll share some of the mistakes that I've made, some of the things that I've learned over the years, some of the things that I'm still learning, some of the things that I'm doing differently, share some of my tech with you. In 2021, I actually started a software company. That's been fun. That's another video for another day. Um, so that's been exciting, baby. I'm gonna try some stuff. You ain't got to worry about me. But that's what I'm hoping to get out of this and share. So just holding myself accountable. Right now, I'm committing to one video per week. I wish I could do one every day. I have enough material to do one every day. But I'm not even gonna play myself. I am not even about to play myself. But I will say that now is a good time to get into virtual assisting. Now is a good time to get into tech virtual assisting. So if you have any kind of technical background or anything like that, it would be good for you to do that. If you are thinking about getting into virtual assisting and you don't know where to start, I do have a free masterclass that I did back in 2001. I was watching it again. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this was 3 years ago. But a lot of the information in the masterclass is still very prevalent today, and just kind of gives you some insight. The industry is changing. A lot of things or a new technology is taking over. But I believe that it is a good start. If you are a seasoned virtual assistant or you've been doing virtual assistant all your life or anything like that, it's not the thing for you. But if you are just starting out, don't know where to start or anything like that, then I would definitely recommend that masterclass. And then once you do the masterclass, I have a course. It is a 9 module, so it was a 9-week course when I did it in person. So each module is about an hour long. So it's like a 9 hour long course. And that is $97, but that walks you through, okay, start here. Then I go through everything you need to do in this portion. Then we go here, and then I go through everything you need to do step by step by step. It's a really, really good course. I've gotten a lot of great feedback. People have quit their jobs after working with me and doing that. And then I have something exciting dropping later this summer, probably early fall. It's going to be a mentorship where you get to work with me. But that is not available just yet. I'm trying to rebuild my business, get it back up. That's another reason why I am doing my business again. I'm doing this for a lot of reasons, but one of them is just I I'm not gonna say I don't like the fact, but some people they start coaching and they get out of the business. So it's like, how you gonna teach me how to be a virtual assistant? You're not even a virtual assistant anymore. You haven't been a virtual assistant for years, but you gonna teach me how to do it. And so that's another reason why I'm starting my virtual assistance business again, just to be able to be in the know of what's going on now and how things are going now so that I can help my mentees and things like that when that time comes. So that's my story. Dang, this was 20 minutes long. But I'm excited to go on this journey with you all. Like I said, look for future videos in that. So and I'll be going live in my Facebook group. It's called the Chic Life Virtual Assistants Lounge. I'll be going live in there. I'll be doing some live coaching with my coaching client, Amelia. She's the only one that I have right now. Is she enough? Um, but I'll be doing some coaching with her in there. So yeah, I can see us do that as well. So but that's my story. So I hope everybody come and join me on this journey. Watch me, give me your feedback and stuff like that on this video. But I'm excited. So bye.